I'm sure many of y'all know by now that the Border Patrol agents have been attacked here recently the last couple weeks. They've been in protests and riots, have been attacked a bunch of different ways. And in New York yesterday, an off-duty agent was shot in the face. And what happened was there was a robbery, and a guy from the Dominican Republic shot him in the face because he was trying to get away. Now, this guy happened to be an illegal in a sanctuary city, and he's been arrested 4 separate times from 2022 till now. He's been arrested 4 different times, and they weren't petty things that this guy's done. They were larceny, they were burglary, assault, and they keep letting him go because it's a sanctuary city. They continue to let people like that go without any due process, without getting them out of the country. And I don't know if this officer is going to live or not. I didn't see that in the article. I just saw where, what happened. But if we had stricter laws on who come into the country or not, that would have never happened. Now, imagine having your house, your door wide open, and letting people come in. Some of them might be cool and just need to take, crash on the couch for a night or whatever. But then you start asking, hey, you need to start paying bills around here. And they say no. And then you say, okay, whatever. And then they start inviting their friends over, and their friends start throwing parties and start stealing stuff and start breaking windows. That's what these sanctuary cities are. They put their head down. They turn a blind eye to what's actually happening. This guy that shot the off-duty Border Patrol agent, why is he even here in this country? He broke 4 laws at one time, very severe laws. But they're going to blame the gun, shooting this officer. They're going to blame the officer for trying to stop a burglar. But yet he robbed somebody or robbed a store or whatever he did, shot a guy in the face, had a firearm in a city that is very hard to get a firearm in the first place. And he was illegal to begin with. Have you ever tried to explain something to somebody and they're not quite getting it? They don't understand. They're not realizing the gravity of what's happening, and you just want to shake them. Like, how do you not understand this? That is how I feel right now in this country. How people, it was the gun's fault. Well, if we just let them all in, nothing would happen. And you don't realize the amount of people coming in this country. They say it's a couple million, it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million people. Me and you, that's just a number. How many people is that? How many of those people are, and I'm sure some of them are looking for a better life, but then you ask them to pay taxes, that's not going to happen. You tell them to assimilate into our culture, that's not going to happen. You ask them and you tell them to abide by our rules and laws and our social norms, and that's not going to happen. A lot of these people are coming from really messed up countries, and sure, they're just trying to get away from it. But just like the people from California moving to Texas and Florida, they're dragging their policies with them. And sooner or later, Texas and Florida are going to become like California. And then people are going to bitch and moan why Texas and Florida are so bad. It's because you're bringing your policies with you. You're bringing your culture with you. And there's nothing wrong with having your own culture, man. I love all kinds of cultures. I love people that celebrate their own stuff. But there comes a point to where if you're moving to America, do it legally, do it the right way, become an American citizen, and pay taxes like the rest of everybody, and go along with how people in America do life. Instead of bringing your corruption and your violence with you. We have enough of that already in this country. We have enough crazy people in this country as it is. We don't need any more. And it only takes one of them to do something really bad. How many people across the border have been caught that they're on some kind of list, some kind of watch list, some kind of no-fly list? How many of those people have been caught? Just the ones that have been caught, not the ones that haven't been caught. Out of 50 million people or 30 million people or however much it's been, how many of those people don't like America and come here with bad intent? How many people are in America already that are Americans that want to see America burn? There is literally an invasion happening right now, and we're trusting the same people that lied about all kinds of stuff. From the Gulf of Tonkin to, if you want a conspiracy about 9/11 or any other war that we've ever been in, we're trusting those people to take care of the problem. Whether it's the Republicans or the Democrats, or next year, next 43 years or whatever, it's going to be a Democrat, and the next 4 years after that, it's going to be a Republican, whatever. It is the same government that's in charge. It's the same people behind the scenes controlling it, letting it happen. And they throw you a bone and they say, oh, we'll take care of it. And everybody believes them. And everybody believes that they're going to do what they need to do to get shit under control. And they're not. We're going down. We go down, 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 up a little bit, and then down, down, down some more. Up a little bit, down, down, down some more. And we get used to it. Because, it's a little bad now, and then something really bad happens, and then we say, oh, wow. And then it gets good for a little bit. And then it goes down again, and then we say, well, it's not that bad. And then something really bad again happens, and then they say, wow. And then it gets good. And we go over and over with this, and we repeat the cycle, and we get numb to it, and we desensitize, and we stop looking at it. We stop paying attention to it. How they say evil never rests. And bad people don't rest either. People breaking into your house at 2 o'clock in the morning aren't resting. They are doing nefarious stuff. They are doing their bad stuff at night while nobody's watching. And our government is doing the same thing to us. And whoever's controlling our government is doing the same thing to them. There was a meme that I saw a long time ago. It was a bunch of birds that were sitting on a tree, and all the birds at the bottom had bird shit on them. And then on the next row, the birds had a little bit of bird shit on them. And then the second row had a couple birds, and they had just a little bit of bird shit on them. And the guy on the top, or the bird on top, had no bird shit on him. And we're all the way down. We're on the ground. If we're not on the first branch, we're on the ground. And we are covered in bird shit right now as a country. As a free country, if that's what you want to call it right now. When are people going to start realizing this? We're becoming used to the idea of bad things happening in this country, and we're getting used to the idea of millions of people coming into our country doing bad stuff, shooting people. In the next 5-10 years, that's going to be a normal thing to where it happens all the time, and it's just another Tuesday. It's just another day when something happens where somebody gets shot in the face. It already is in America. Like I said, we already have those people here. We don't need any more of them. Especially ones that you can't track and trace and figure out who they are. Especially ones that don't contribute at all whatsoever. We have enough of those people here too already. But let's bring more of them in. Let's open up the garage door, the back door, the front door, all the windows, and let everybody come in. And not ask them any questions, and not ask them to pay any bills whatsoever. And then you have to start paying for their food. We already are paying for their food. We're already paying for their health care, paying for their housing. We do that for American citizens that don't want to do anything. Now I get people need help every once in a while. sure. I have no problem helping out people that go on hard times. There are many, many people that go on hard times that you help out your neighbor. But there comes a point to where your neighbor isn't acting neighborly. They're not your neighbor at that point. You don't help the neighbor that steals your shit. You don't help the people that rob you and then turn around and say, where'd all my stuff go? We have liberties right now to protect us. We have liberties right now to speak up about things right now. But when these bad things happen over again, over and over and over again, and the government's going to say, you know what? No liberties for anybody because we can't trust you with them. And then all of our freedoms go away for everybody because the people that you let into your house stole everything and broke everything and brought their bad influences with them. I would suggest praying for the guy that got shot. Pray for any Border Patrol. Pray for the country. Pray for your family. I would get out of the big cities. There's going to be a point in time in our country to where it won't be safe to go outside in a city at all. It's already pretty bad out there in big cities, just with the everyday normal stuff that they have to deal with. And then on top of that, you have people that have no morals and no respect and no justification to even be there in the first place. I suggest moving to the country somewhere, finding a state that has the best laws for liberty. That's something that you would have to look up and decide. I have my own thoughts on where I'm moving to, but get away from the big cities as far as you can. It is better to live in the country and not have anything around you and be very inconvenient when you need to go to the store. It is better to be very inconvenient to have to drive 30-40 minutes to a hospital. Even though that sounds bad, it is better to have that problem than to have people 10 feet away from you living upstairs and downstairs and seeing all this crazy crap going on. That's just my thought on it. And I hope everybody has a great day. And I hope that off-duty Border Patrol agent that got shot in the face by an illegal immigrant is going to get his due process. Y'all have a great day.